So, you want to bag your BMW 420D. Hello everyone, welcome back to Fitment TV, and today we have another catalog video for the BMW 420D. Now, this is also a product highlight for our own line of FEINT Airstruts. Now, what is FEINT? What is an Airstrut? FEINT is our own brand, our own line, and Airstruts are actually an all-in-one package of air suspension and the coilover combined to one. So there's no more fabrication, there's no more machining or conversion happening because you order the FEINT Airstruts and it gets shipped here, and that's it. You have your air package. Now, the only thing that needs to be built up or prepped is the actual system itself, the compressor, the tank, and all the electricals and hose lines for your system. Now, the beauty of FEINT is actually that it's convenient. It's convenient for you, it's convenient for us, and it makes release times much faster than it was before because we eliminate the machining process of converting your stock or coilover suspension to adapt to air suspension. Now, this 420D is on FEINT and it rides amazing. Napakasarap ng drive niya sa EDSA. Naka P1 ako sa EDSA. Usually we advise P1 for super patag, or in this case, our expressways like Skyway, because that's the flattest roads in the Philippines so far. And yan yung smoothest, even though it's not really exactly that smooth. Pero as far as SLEX versus Skyway, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that Skyway is much better than SLEX. And as like I said, we advise P1 for super patag and P2 for city driving, like EDSA is a good example. But even for P1, it rides really, really good. So our FEINT Airstruts has full height adjustment besides just the bag pressure. We also have dampening, which is 36 clicks. Before this intro gets any longer, let me thank every 21,000 subscribers of Fitment TV. I'd like to thank all of you for the support and the love that you have given to this channel and to our business because it really helps us a lot. Thank you to every single one of you out there. Please continue liking and sharing our videos as it does really help. And don't forget to click on the notification bell icon to stay updated on our catalog videos like these, our multi-piece highlights, and of course our shop updates and other videos to come in the future. Now, please lend me your ears as this will get technical but educational as we dive into the suspension part of the video. Well, welcome to the front suspension of the 420D. Similar to other BMWs, it's counter chassis like the F10, the M Sport, which is the M4 naman ng version nito. They're quite similar naman, so it's a McPherson type strut. So as you can see, what's a McPherson type strut? The strut or the shock actually rotates in an axis. So up here on the top hat, there's actually a bearing. So as you can see, this is another product highlight. As previously mentioned, we're on FEINT Airstruts for the 420D. Later in the dynamics, we will explain its air up and air out as client special request that we maximize air up. Pero makikita nyo naman mamaya maganda rin yung tindig tsaka bagsak ng auto habang naka-air out. As standard, we always run our hose lines following the stock brake lines that go back into the chassis. Like all our other FEINT builds, we now use steel-braided hose lines for the front. Kasi andyan yung init, andyan rin yung mga ibang langis and stuff, whatnot. So as much as possible, we want to protect this and keep it heat resistant para walang matunaw na linya, wala rin whatsoever na pumasok sa airbag natin. For our bag, we are using a double bellow slim bag. So these are pretty much standard now with our FEINT bags. Depende na lang sa kotse kasi as you can see, malawak rin naman ang shock tower ng 420D. So you can see that I can fit my whole hand through, lusot hanggang likod, nayayakap ko ng buo. Installing the FEINT Airstruts is fairly simple naman if you know how to actually install or remove shocks. It's pretty straightforward naman. You have a hose line, then you have what's supposed to be a spring, pero hindi naman talaga spring, makikita mong goma. Then you have your standard coilover adjustments here for height. And then of course, our FEINT Airstruts come with 36 clicks dampening. So that's pretty much it for the front. It's pretty blank here. It's pretty spacious naman. For the hose line, it is fairly simple naman as you can see. And that's pretty much it for the front. Now we can go to the rear and talk about that. Okay, so we're here at the rear section of the 420D. So as you can see, the suspension is actually a divorce setup. What is a divorce setup? Kita nyo naman, yung mismong strut niya hiwalay sa spring. Well, in this case, airbag. Now, this is a multi-link suspension. So up here, if you can see, this is a camber arm. We have a toe arm here. We have another toe arm here in the front. If I'm not mistaken, this could be caster actually. And then, we have our stab link over here. Pero medyo masikip dito sa likod kung pansin nyo. The only things close to the bag actually is this toe arm over here, which has a decent amount of space naman. It's probably like half an inch. And then the closest that I can say is actually the lock ring of the strut itself. Medyo malapit siya, hindi ko na malusot yung finger ko in between. Pero yeah, we are also using a double bellow slim bag for the rear. Medyo masikip talaga dito sa likod. In this case, medyo normal rin for BMWs. I noticed na medyo masikip lagi ang divorce nila dito sa likod. They fit a lot of arms sa multi-link nila. Pero ride naman is good. Test driven, okay. Of course, FEINT. So we have 36 clicks dampening. And then the only hassle part here for the rear, pag magtotono ng dampening, is kailangan mo iangat yung auto tsaka baklas gulong. Unless kaya ng kamay mong lumusot dito on top of the wheel kasi the dampening is actually up here. So ito siya. Hindi ko na gagalawin kasi naset na yan. Pero that's pretty much for the rear. Clearance is pretty tight. This is our hose line actually. So our FEINT Airstruts pagdating sa mga divorce, may kasama na siyang plates. And when you get it out of the bag, it actually looks like a small gas tank, yung mga gasol para sa stove, sa kitchen. And then, nandito naman yung mga hose line. So it goes in here. There's like a notch here to fit the hose line. Then it goes straight to the system, which is actually hidden in the trunk. We will go there later and I will discuss to you the layout. That's pretty much it for the rear. Let's go to the trunk so we can discuss the layout. So welcome to the trunk of the 420D. So of course, we're going to show you the layout in this part of the video. Now, first things first, our panels are off at the moment. Reason being, for this part of the video, because actually our system is pretty tucked up in here, if you can see. Our system is here. This is our Feels, our Fitment Engineering airlift system. This is our 4th generation of the Fitment airlift system. And why is it tucked in there? Of course, this is a daily car and daily cars need comfort, convenience. So as much as possible, we want to keep the trunk space for our client. And as well, our client requested that. So he has all the trunk space in the world. Number 2, these cars actually don't have a spare tire. If I'm not mistaken, I will check under the car if there is one. There's no spare tire under. But underneath here, there's still no spare tire here, which is actually convenient for our tank. There's like a pocket here, which I assume is for tools or whatnot. It's pretty much a convenient pocket for the tank. This is a 3-gallon tank. So that's 2. Number 3, where is the compressor? It's actually under the car. If you see this panel or this section of the trunk, right underneath here is actually the compressor, which actually eliminates a lot of noise and vibration. Good thing that it's there because our client wanted comfort, our client wanted convenience. So zero trunk cargo was eliminated or used. As well, our compressor is outside, which minimizes a lot of noise. And this car is really comfortable to drive. And when the compressor kicks in, it's more of like a tickle in the butt rather than a nuisance to the ear. So that's pretty nice. And we do a lot of systems like these where our clients want to hide the system actually for cargo in the trunk, or they just don't want any excess stuff to be seen in the trunk, which is understandable naman. So yeah, when the panels are on, it's like nothing even changed here. It still has this net here for other cargo to be strapped down. We still kept the trunk board. We didn't really tap onto any of the panels. We have a wood piece here that actually embraces the system, and yeah, the trunk is still 100% usable with 100% volume of whatever capacity this can fill. I hope that we satisfied our client's request, and I can say that that's pretty much it. So let's go back to the front view of the car where we will discuss the dynamic. Now that we've discussed how roomy the front suspension is and how tight the rear section is, as well as the layout and the trunk, now let's get to everyone's favorite part of the video where we discuss the dynamics of the car and how good it looks down, and how high up it goes. So let's start up the car so we can get the system running, of course. Now, quick rundown. This is an F32. It's a 420D, D for diesel, and this is actually the same body as the M4. So the system's running. Right now we're actually at P2. So while we're at it, you can see that we have a 3-finger gap for the front, which is around 45 millimeters. One finger is 15 millimeters. For the rear, we have a tight 1-finger gap. Let's go to P3. At P3, you can see we are now at 4 fingers, which is 60 millimeters. For the rear, we're sitting at a tight 2-finger gap. For P1, we're at 2 fingers, but pretty tight. For the rear, no finger, but maybe half a finger. Now, please keep in mind that the front wheel arch is always bigger than the rear to accommodate for steering, especially on humps. We don't want to steer and run a hump and then whack our fender. That's not a good mix. Pero our client actually really wanted to utilize the racing part of the car, or its air up, because roads here are really bad and he wants to go through humps without any problems or having to do shetes and stuff like that, go up ramps without a problem, without scraping his trim, his bumpers, his under chassis. And we did our best, and let's go for our max air before we are out. So as you can hear, the compressor just kicked in. We're sitting at around 115 PSI on all 4 bags. For the rear, we're still at a tight 2-finger gap. Keep in mind, these are 20-inch rims. And for the front, we're at around 4.5 fingers. So, everyone's favorite part, air out. So we're at 0 PSI right now. And like I said, our client wanted to maximize airing up. So we had to sacrifice some air down. As you can see, there's about a 2-finger gap from the lip of the rim to the fender. And for the rear, we're pretty tucked in right now. Surprisingly, nothing's hitting the edge of the wheel like the bumper here. For a stock body, stock wheels, this car looks pretty good. Slammed, I'm not gonna lie. So, is the F32 or 420D to be specific a good stance car? Now, I'd say yes, because BMWs have some pretty good reputation when it comes to the stance scene, regardless of static or bagged. And stock body, stock wheels, slammed to the ground as low as possible, this looks really, really good. So I'd say yeah, it's a very good stance car. But of course, I'd love to hear your opinions in the comment sections. And of course, we're going to read through all of them, and we'd love to hear your feedback as well. So that's pretty much it for this video. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. Fitment TV is now at 21,000 subscribers, and I'd like to thank every single one of you out there. Please don't forget to click on the notification bell icon to stay updated on our catalog videos like these, our multi-piece highlight videos, and our shop updates and other videos to come. So, do you want to bag your car? Hit us up on Instagram at Fitment TV or on Facebook, Fitment Engineering. So, this has been Julian Neri of Fitment Engineering, and I'll see you in the next one.